Welcome to another Shattered Nightmare. Today I'm planning my September setup with you. The design for this month is complemented with plant pieces I collected on walks and pressed in a book. The mix of green and already fading leaves is meant to capture the transition between summer and autumn and set the mood for my favorite season. By now it's practically an unwritten rule that my monthly setups always appear only once the new month is already several days old. I'm starting to wonder if I'll manage to find more time for things this year, especially with my new semester starting next week. I jumped into this setup without much planning, arranging different leaves and paper scraps on the cover page until it felt right. I also wanted to incorporate some stickers I got from my sister for my birthday. By the end, everything looked too colorful and cute, just not my style. I tried to steer it into a more witchy direction with some little doodles, but I'm not sure about the outcome. I don't think I've ever spent this long on a cover page without actually being happy with it. For the monthly overview, I drew a small calendar again, so I can keep track of all my upcoming university dates. The gray is meant to represent the cloudy September sky, so I also tried to create a kind of cloud texture. At that point, I wasn't happy with the color of the text scraps anymore. I had originally imagined a different color palette for the setup, but I still really wanted to use them. The design of this page turned out much better than the overloaded cover, and I wanted to carry that style through the rest of the setup. I'd started the setup quite frustrated, but from here on I finally got back into a more relaxed bullet journaling flow. The next spread is for my to-dos, notes and bingo. Basically a bingo card filled with little goals to achieve throughout the month. Tiny everyday victories like reading a book with a cup of cocoa or trying out something new. These bingo cards are my favorite whenever I feel like I'm not getting anything done, because small wins can be a real boost. The to-do page I'm keeping purposefully open so I can adapt it as the month goes along. By then, the daylight was pretty much gone, and of course my ring light decided to die on me today, so I had to improvise. Next time, the lighting will be better again. And speaking of things not going to plan, I also ran out of this washi tape, but since it's not an essential design element in the setup, I'm not too worried about it. For the weekly spreads, I counted out how many pages I'd need and trimmed down the in-between pages so that you can always see the first and the last page of each week at a glance. Then I chose a washi tape for the edges and glued in the weekday names. Clouds, leaves and stickers tie the design together, while the spreads themselves are kept free for lots of writing space. Since September will likely be a very busy month, I prepared all of the weekly spreads in advance. And finally, of course, the memory page. It's almost always my favorite page, even though it looks pretty empty at first. But by the end of the month, it always comes to life in the most beautiful way. As always, I try to leave lots of free space so that plenty of memories can find a place. And with that, we've reached the final flip through. Honestly, lately I've been noticing this weird phenomenon where I really dislike my cover pages but end up being pretty happy with the rest of the design. Does it happen to you too, or is it just me? And how do you like my autumn setup? Let me know in the comments. I'm always excited to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey through the shadows, please subscribe and leave a like. See you next time and stay spooky!